Hi guys. Come on.
You're very scary sometimes.
I can be, I know. Very scary sometimes. Depends how many coffees I have. Right.
Alright, that's about it then. Eh?
Right. It is Monday evening, 6:21, and
Yes.
the date is March the 20th, 2017. In this year of the Lord's redeemed. And it's a redemption of the soul. And
We've just done up PowerPoint.
yes, we have to. The PowerPoint is converting and it will be up there tonight. Now you might have noticed that I've uploaded to the channel several short YouTubes today, tips for good health. That's what it's all about, the healing of your body. Not only your heart and your mind, but your body. And simple things, you will all agree that these things are readily available. And it's a matter of creating the right environment for your body internally to overcome what has been done to you, which is the deliberate poisoning of you through pharmakia, which is sorcery. And of course it's witchcraft, and it's actually poisoning through the use of drugs and spells. And it's all brought to you, as we keep saying, by the lovely Jews who call themselves Jews and are not.
Lovely people.
Constantinople, 1492. Now, moving right along, because we want to move on to more interesting subjects. Tiffany finished her blog and sent it to me Saturday, and I'll put the link. I told her I was going to read it, but I won't, because you read it for yourself. She has done an amazing job on finishing her Word document and all about Asherah, and she has promised he's next in her sights. And good on you, Tiffany. You're like a dog on a bone. That's what it took me to find him. For 9 years I was like a dog on a bone, and I overcame everything to find him. So
You've still got the bone, haven't you?
I've still got the bone somewhere. I'll put the link for Tiffany's finished blog about Asherah in the description box. And because I promised Tiffany, Yah will just clear up about the constellations. You were a bit confused about President Trump and the inauguration of 5 months and his constellation Scorpio.
It's all to do with the position of Sagittarius and Scorpio. And in between the two is Ophiuchus, which is the figure of the Lord wrestling the serpent, which are the Jews. And he's standing on the scorpion, and with the right heel he gets stung, and with the left heel he crushes his head. Now, the drawing we put up is not quite showing it, but to the best of my ability, I thought I've already done it so many times, I'm sick and tired of doing it. Sagittarius is Rhiannon, born on the 20th of December 1979.
So just to make it clear, when Yah's referring to the constellations, they are all to do with himself.
Yeah, I hear.
Right? People in his life, the genetics that prove himself within the heavens.
I was going to say that. Anyhow, the Scorpio is my first wife, November, born in November. My second daughter, Nicole, she was born in November. And these all interrelate with Michelle, who was Mary Magdalene, who has had 7 devils driven out. So she's here for the last time. She's not going to make it. And she proved that when I was with her. And then you've got her daughter, Rhiannon, who is a Sagittarius. Now the Sagittarius is a horse and a man's body pulling back an arrow, and it fires it at the scorpion. So in other words, it's connecting the scorpion and Sagittarius. The scorpion, of course, is Eileen, first wife, born in November, scorpion. My second daughter, Nicole, born in November, scorpion. And the scorpions in these constellations have a nasty thing about them. But genetically, they all link together through the difference in ages So we got 1 Chronicles 5:13. Now, we've got the age of Michelle when she gave birth to Sagittarius, which was Rhiannon, and she was 32.75.
Yes.
That's found only once in the Bible.
The number 3275.
The number 3275 in the concordance. And then you've got the age difference between my youngest daughter and Rhiannon, which is 777 days, which is 2.127 years. And that number is only found once in the Bible. The 777 indicates the end of time because there's 777 cities and we end with the holy city in the book of Revelation. So all these things have to come to pass. So we've got the two numbers that out of 800,000 numbers or so in the Old Testament, 8674. They're only found in the one verse side by side. Mathematical logic, that is fantastic. However, Rhiannon, she is 11.626 years younger than Tracy, my first one. And my first wife, 1162.6 weeks old when I married her. And they all fit together in 1 Chronicles 5:13, which has a value with the 7 names in it of 31106. And then the last word is the number 7.
The word 7.
The word 7. And it has a value, when you add it to the 31106, it gives you the Comforter and the number 7. And that total is 38757. So you divide it by the 8 numbers, and that gives you the height of the pyramid, 4844, and that's in pyramid feet, times in pyramid inches is 5813, and that's the distance from where Rhiannon and her mother Michelle and I lived in a house that's on a latitude that is 31680 kilometres around the Earth and 5813 to the South Pole. In nautical miles and statute miles, it means house and also married. So it's pretty well set up. It's a slam dunk. Right there, you don't have to go and put one.
Now, just as it's pertaining to Trump, because that was the confusion.
Oh, nothing to do with Trump.
It just so happens that there's a prophecy.
The idea is Trump is 2.424 years younger than I. That's the only reason that Trump has to be in the position he is, just because that's how I want. So it doesn't matter whether he is, when he wakes up, he will eventually, because you can't escape that. So will he do as I say? Well, sooner or later. He's, first off, he won't shake hands with Angela Merkel.
That's a good thing.
And he says he's going to bring Germany back up to its Christian state, which is a good thing. And that's what Russia is happening to Russia with Putin, so that's a good thing. And he's going to do away with the Federal Reserve, so that's a good thing. So he's just playing it cool, right? So he's a very smart man.
Now, of course, he's fighting all kinds of wars in the media, or trying to ignore them while they're fighting their wars, etc. So he needs to get through and get the nation steady, if you like, under his presidency. And when the timing is right...
Well, he's done more in 50-odd days than all the other presidents combined.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So that's what his job is. That's why he was put on the earth, to learn how to be a businessman and to take risks and learn what the Jews are all about.
And be tough.
And be tough.
Yeah.
So when he says something, he's thought about it, he does it. And he's like me in that sense. He just weighs it all up. If you've got to do it, you go for it. Yeah. So is that it?
Well, that's it on TV. Now, it's just the 5 months. There's a prophecy about the 5 months, the sting of the scorpion.
Now, the Jews are in a hard place right now. And all these pedophiles and all that, that's all to do with the Jews. Pizzagate and all this kind of thing, child molestation. Jews have been kicked out of 109 countries for sacrificing children and eating their flesh and drinking their blood. So it's pretty obvious that they're talking about it. Right? Now, they're going to be very worried because they know I'm here and they've been trying to kill me for a very long time. But I'm slowly encroaching upon their territory in the sense that I'm getting more and more notoriety. because people go down every rabbit hole there is and finally they'll stumble across us. And a lot of it, what we say, is rejected, of course. But we are being forthright and righteousness will prevail.
Yes.
So it's a matter of that. So, is that the other journey?
No.
Oh. Now, we're talking about China a lot too. China is a very, very famous place. A lot of inventions come out of China. One, I'll tell you about, which I guarantee you don't know. 2 sailors were shipwrecked on an island, 2 Chinese sailors. And just off Formosa, and they didn't know what to do. They just waiting to get picked up. So they got bored, and this particular day they came up with the idea of making a net out of seaweed. And then they got a bit of sponge, and they started belting this bit of sponge back and forth with a ball. And they invented a very, very famous game. Now, you'll know it when I tell you. One's name was Pong, and the other was Ping. So, what game did they invent?
Badminton.
That's it. No, it was tennis. There you go.
Is that the joke for tonight, Dave?
That'll do for tonight.
That'll do for tonight. Okay, let's get on to some comments that people have left since Friday night when we last read them. And yes, For the Truth is commenting. They're loving these health tips that I've uploaded all day. Yes, Donna says thanks for all these mom health tips. So appreciate it. I'm very worried about losing my health.
Wasn't Donna asking about Antarctica or something?
Donna was the one who, yes.
Well, that silly old
film.
That silly old fella that just got out of hospital with a heart attack. And he did announce for about 20 seconds that the biggest story in history is that the Pope has announced Christ is back. And that's it. Next 30 minutes he raved on about all the scriptures which he has no idea. And that really shits me with that people. They think they know what they're talking about. Quote the scriptures left, right and centre. No idea. So, Antarctica, what's down there? Well, Admiral Byrd went down there in 1947 in February. And he went down to destroy the German bases because a lot of Germans got down there on these super submarines that they built right at the end of the war. And there was 100 of them. They seem to have disappeared off the face of the earth, carrying a lot of Germans down there to join the angels that are down there. They're not demons. And the story is going around at the moment. Oh, this is a good one. Oh.
No, Donna, I'll have to say here, darling, I didn't listen to the link. I listened to it with the headphones on as I was recording his PowerPoint. So this is Ya's impression of what he heard out of the mouths of probably some of the dimmest people on the earth. Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely. Now, what they're talking about is that the Russians and Americans went down there and they let off an atomic weapon, hydrogen bomb or something, and it cracked. Would you believe it? It cracked Antarctica. And in the crack, they found there's this spaceship down there, a mothership, and there's live aliens from Mars on it. And they're between something like 12 and 20 feet tall, and they're flesh eaters. And apparently that's where a lot of the Jews went during the war. They put them down there and they just froze them and make a juicicle out of them. Well, just pick out a Jew from the ice and chunk them. That's good tucker, as they say in Australia. It's all bullshit, right? They're supposed to have come from Mars, right, and set up a base on the Earth. They don't go to Middle East or somewhere where it's nice climate. No, they've got to go to Antarctica. Right? And they get frozen in and they can't get out because they haven't got the technology because they're too stupid. Hello? So what do you think I think of that? Not a lot.
Next.
Oh, I feel dizzy. And this gets onto the mainstream.
Well, it's not. It's that site over there. Look, I have to tell you,
$2.25. The Zims are worth now.
The information that comes out of that, Dina, have any actually read about their disclaimers at that Dino Chronicles site, where a lot of you are feeding off the information over there. They have covered themselves every which way but loose. It may as well, this is just the way I read it, the disclaimer is they're not responsible for anything that anybody posts on the site. The owners of the site are not responsible for anything, whether things be true or false, whether it's all total BS. All the information there, they disclaim any ownership over any of it being true. It's all, and it reads like science fiction, sci-fi. If you, what's his face, Sheldon Neidle, just take a look at a profile on him. He's been known for a very long time. These guys are fiction writers. They're science fiction, fantasy. It's all in their vain imaginations, at best. I'm thinking of what's his face, Hubbard. What's that? What did he start? Was he Scientology?
Scientology and aliens.
It's all total and absolute.
Also eating children and sacrificing.
It's
He was a Jew.
Look, the battle is here on the earth. There are no aliens. Period. There are demonic entities that will try to fool you any which way but loose, and they occupy the people that call themselves Jews and are not Jews but are the synagogue of Satan, and they are behind these sites. Anybody who refuses to identify themselves, put video. This is me. This is who I am.
Sitting
As we do.
In front of
Somebody who refuses and makes the excuse of deep intel and all, it's absolute.
This Kent Dunn should be shut up and shot.
God, it's just too pathetic.
And that old fossil that's got him on his show.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Yes, let's move along. Anyway, so that's our thoughts about it. Like anybody who doesn't stand up and say, this is who I am and all the rest of it, then, just give it a miss. And we've always said, if they're not talking about Yah,
it's bullshit.
It's all total. Everything else is a distraction. And let me tell you this. You cannot redeem your soul
by talking bullshit.
Or counting on something that reads like sci-fi, fiction, fantasy, fairy tale. Now, if you owned all of the wealth of the world, which seems to be what they're promising, and you deny Yah, then what good does it do you? Because your history, you are toast. It's all about the soul. Recognition of Yah, that's the beginning and that's the end of everything. So, that being said...
There's more.
Well, let's move right along. And Anna sends her appreciation, yes, for all of the health tips, etc. And then there's Andy Elliott. Now, Andy, I sent you a response through the personal message on YouTube, but when I went into the sent file, it's not showing that it went at all. Did you get the response from your personal message about 4 days ago now? Because you say tonight, 7 hours ago, 3 days without Yah and Ash. Can my soul hold up to hear from the word of Yah? I, for one, can say I miss Yah dearly. Despite my age, I feel as a young lamb looking for my master. I have no idea, Andy. How old are you? And then there's...
He's as old as me. That's what George Burns said, he only goes out with younger women because there's none older than him.
There's none older than him. Now, and also there's humble soldier before him, somebody new. Thank you for your videos, they ring true with me. And my research in my truth seeking since my awakening in 2012. You are a breath of fresh air to me because you both remind me of myself, which I'm getting back slowly. You are loving, goofy, fun and positively happy and honest, just like me. Speaking of goofy, I've got something to show you before this video gets shut down tonight, much to Yah's. Well, anyway, he wouldn't let me. He said, I'm trying to be serious. So he starts off with a joke. Anyway, that was a big joke. Anyway, moving on. Okay, all right. So thank you for that and shedding some light on those things. I already was led to myself by the Holy Spirit, and it just rings true to my own research. The confirmation of this is nice and makes me feel like I'm on the right track with it. Oh, yeah, no. It's kind of hard to get truth without the Holy Spirit confirming things. There's a lot of convincing bullshit lies out there to sift through. Sorry for my language. It is frustrating sometimes. I hope your health and light and love touch many people. I wish I could email you. I would love to ask a few questions, but if not, thanks anyway. Well, humble soldier, as I've been telling everybody, Ash Creations, lowercase at mail.com. And there's Doreen again. Good day.
Ross was on the phone.
Oh, yes.
And was talking about why I call you Rexona.
Oh, Rexona.
And I explained it to him. Jack Ben Hippie has his wife, and she's Rexella.
That's right, Rexella.
Rexella.
Yeah.
So I called you Rexona. Then I told Ross, that was a suggestion, not a name. Rexona.
Rexona is
deodorant.
Yes, well. However, if we're all drinking our apple cider vinegar regularly, well, it deodorizes inside and out.
She gave me a...
Oh, yes.
Oh,
what was it this morning? What?
A garlic. I got a... She
roasted
cooked it.
garlic.
Oh, that's lovely.
Roasted garlic.
Oh, it's lovely. She says, here, have this. Well, I've been sick all day.
Oh. Yeah, it's just really plain, like rice pudding and...
Water? Water's good.
Water. Just very plain. And he doesn't like these concoctions I come up with, which are marvellous, but yes, roasted garlic is...
Some of the things she gives me, I don't know whether I'm going to eat it or put it on the face.
Today it was putting it on his face. I made him a face cream because he'd run out of it. So we're getting through it now. Cheryl
Callahan. So quite sticky at the moment.
We're so excited when we uploaded the chromosome for the math. Now, Cheryl Callahan is talking about Ron Wyatt and his discovery underneath the cross. Well, you know, that's underneath the cross. Wow.
Unfortunately for Ron Wyatt, 4 Israelis tried to get in to see this Ark of the Covenant. Now the Ark of the Covenant is bullshit. It's a fiction, right? Moses came up with it. So in it is the 10 Commandments, which I don't want to have nothing to do with it, because there's only 2 commandments: love God and love each other. Love me and 2, thank you. So eventually he gets in by sending in an Arab midget, and he comes out all terrified, won't go back in, and finally they dig their way, and this is the last day that was over there. So you've always got to have it set up right. The last day. And then God speaks, go in and have a look. So he finds his way in there. When he gets in there, there's all these rocks all filled up, and he just sees a little glitter of gold. And over a period of time, they clear it all out, and there's the Ark of the Covenant, and a shewbread table or something like that. Some other
some implements from there.
And right above, they got the Ark of the Covenant, got a block of stone on it, and it's cracked and moved to the one side. And right above, there's a crack that goes up, which was the up to the cross. Now the cross was in a post hole, and the blood, and then the torrent of rain washed all my blood down into this base hole where the upright is of the cross. When the earthquake hit, that split, and then all the blood and water ran down and dripped on top of the Ark of the Covenant. Alright. Now, Ron Wyatt also brilliantly found the crossing of Exodus. And it was quite easy because as his and his sons are walking up looking for it, they walk into this post, and it's a great big pole that's been placed there by the Israelis, the crossing, and it's about 5 or 6 metres high or more. And it's got all this Hebrew writing on it, or Yiddish, and this is where Moses crossed over. It's 14 miles wide. Now, at this particular spot, on either side of a natural bridge, which is 1,000 feet underwater, there's a 5,000 feet on one side and 5,000 feet deep on the other side. And voila, he finds a wheel of a chariot that is, and a hoof of a horse, about 100 metres into the Red Sea at this point. So it's sort of wading in, he found it. right? Now, the story is that when Moses led the people out by putting his staff on water, it all comes apart, and they all go across, 2 million of them, and on the other side, then in the distance you can see the chariots are coming. The Egyptian army's pissed off, they want to get them back, right? So as they're coming in, they're just about there, and then he lifts his staff up or down or sideways or whatever, and the water piles and he kills them all, drowns them. Now this is 14 miles across, so where they got drowned was 14 miles from where they went in, where Ron White found the wheel. And it turns out to be Roman. The Jews had thrown it there, probably in the 50s, and the coral had built up on it. Ron White found it. Now also Ron White was supposed to have found the Ark of Noah. And as it turns out, it's the Ark of Nimrod. And the real Ark, as it turns out, I met some people, they were in Melbourne, and this lady was selling perfume. She had hundreds of people working for her. She was making 16 million a year. And her husband named Brian, he was laying back, he loved it, right? Playing golf and going out in his boat. Him and I got talking. And he said her uncle, who's a historian, and had just come back from Turkey, and they invited him over to have dinner. And after dinner, he's got this sort of viola case or a violin case, something like that, and he opens it up, and because they asked, what is it? So he pulls out this piece of gopher wood, and gopher wood is what the Ark was made of. And he said it'd been on board the Ark. But he can't get anyone to rent him a hall, or when he does get anywhere, the media comes in and just bombard him with this ridiculous shouting and screaming at him, trying to stop him from revealing that in fact he'd been on board the Ark. But he also said that when he was on board the Ark, it's way up. There's nowhere near this other thing that's Ron White, you know. And he said that inside it, there's all these cages, there's supposed to be, and the thing is broken in half. And he said what's interesting was that the seed that he got and brought out, which is seed pre-flood. And he said all of the animals that had the horns and so forth, when they were in the Ark, tips of their horns broke off into the side of the cages that they were in, which is wood on one side and steel on the other, iron. And that makes more sense to me because I know the people that were after him big time. And these are all Satanists. Channel 9, Channel 7, they tried to close him down big time.
Young Event, wasn't it?
Young Event, what a mongrel she is. Now, that makes more sense. Now, they were genuine people. They said they'd seen it, right? Like Brian, he himself, he couldn't have cared less one way or the other. He was too busy thinking about playing golf the next day. But they're not religious people. And this lady, it's her uncle, who was a historian, that had been on board with others, and they got it all closed down. Threatened with death and whatever.
So basically what you're saying about Ron White, because at first you thought it was, because that's what we've got uploaded, but you have since gone back.
What happened was, his story changed. So I thought, now, if there was an earthquake, and if there's an Ark of the Covenant, okay, well, that's supposed to be in Jeremiah's grotto. If it was put in there by Jeremiah, that was at the time of 586 BC, so it's been there a very, very long time. To me, when I started to think about it, I thought, well, why would he not take the Ark of the Covenant with him when he went to Ireland? If it's true.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, right? Why didn't he do that? He took the Rock of the Scone, which weighs about 400 pounds.
And he took other
stuff, but not the Ark, which is the major find. Now, from Ron Wyatt's point of view, what he said that made me very suspicious of him was, he said that 4 Israelis tried to go in and they got struck dead. He got flown over from Florida, where he lived, to go in and get the bodies out. And because he was in pathology, he said their eyes were crossed, so they'd had major strokes. Okay, and he said another guy who was with the antiquities had tried to go in, a big fat guy, and he had a heart attack, and he couldn't go in. Later on he talked about it as being there were 6 Israelis. So as he got old, he got senile, and he upped the numbers. So I thought, all right, we'll just leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Now, of course, as people come with this information, The thing that was more telling than anything else is the date that he said that he found it and the timing, because the date that he said, which was January the 6th, 1982, that was the date at 2 p.m. Well, at that exact moment in time, Yahweh himself was 1982 weeks old. So out of that experience with what Ron Wyatt said he did...
Now, I'm not saying that it's all bullshit, but the way he later changed the story, when you have a story that is so fantastic, why would you change the story? That makes sense. Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll go down that road.
Yes, well, yeah, I know.
So the Ark of the Covenant was supposed to be, if you touch it, it gets struck dead. But when they was fighting the Philistines, the giant come in and grabbed it and ran off with it. Didn't kill him. And they kept it for 18 months and they gave it back to him. Right? Like a piece of shit, here, take it back. That's what happened. Yet why, when the Israelis themselves are carrying it and the thing they start to stumble with it, they put their hands on it. Now remember, these are Jewish writers doing this.
Yes.
Hello, what do we say about Jewish writers if the lips are moving? Can't take any of it as being gospel. All I can do is measure and do the numbers. That's all I can do.
Right. Okay, so let's move right along to... Marion says, good morning. Hi there, Marion. Thank you for sharing this knowledge of health that's being kept from us. I just learned that I will never be using a microwave again.
Oh yeah, that's good. Stick your head in it, sort of.
Oh. And scrolling down. Now, read the cloths. I did mail them all. There were 7 envelopes that I sent out. 1 to the UK, 1 to Canada, and the other 5 rather to the USA. I just wanted to explain, because we were showing the full size of the Sudarium. We thought that's what we were going to send. However, economically,
we couldn't
afford it. So I cut them into 4. So it's 1/4 the size of the Sudarium, and I was able to get it inside a regular envelope. And we also printed off the words of Jesus sent to the king of Edessa and laminated it inside a piece of paper from Yar and myself. So that's what you should be getting in the mail, and it went ordinary mail. It may take up to 2 weeks, but they actually say about 5 to 6 business days. And what else is there? This is mostly about the health videos. Now, Carlene, you asked if I got your email about your invitation. I did, darling, and I did respond to you. I have responded to everybody's email. I like to know if you get them. Even if you haven't read it yet, just send back an email, got it, so that I know it gets through. Because Kayleen, you asked 3 days after I sent it, did I get your email? And I did, and I responded to you, but I still haven't got a response from you saying that you got the second email, that kind of thing. So that's just a tip there, and hello to everybody. Oh, now, this is interesting, because Donna, a couple of days ago, this is what you say. These numbers always amaze me. Now, Yar's got a story here to tell. Yes, listen to this. The one thing I think is really strange is that I had an ether dream before 1st grade when I had my tonsils taken out. It had a huge triangle shape with an 8-ball design on it. It pulled me fast on a beach looking for a good place to put my blanket down. It was going so fast, it was like I was on water skis and the wind was so strong. Listen to this. All I could hear was 888, 888, I finally yelled, stop! And the dream stopped. Ever since that dream, the numbers 888 have been special to me. What's really weird is that I was born on the 8th. I just realised that an office building down the street from me went on fire, and the address is 888. And it happened on the 3rd of, oh, this looks like March the 6th, 2013, the same year that you said Benedict recognised you.
Right.
I was 6 when I had the dream, and it was 2 days before my birthday on the 8th. Is there and then she asked, is there anything special with the number 7? I keep bringing up the numbers, but as a child, numbers always scared me. I didn't have the best math teachers, and I was horrible at math, but I have often seen a synchronicity with them, especially now watching your videos. And yes, it was 6 days after March the 6th, so it was on March the 12th that Pope Benedict announced to the world that he recognised the Christ as Yahweh, Brian Leonard Golightly Marshall, who was the image of the Shroud of Turin, and it was uploaded. So that's an official public proclamation. It was uploaded to his Facebook page at that time. Now the 888, of course, you had the experience in Canada, didn't you? The window, the letter to you.
Yeah, this was about 1992 or 3, and I had this old, new computer, but it was a 286, and they're not too sophisticated in those days. And what happened was I was looking at the screen, and then a window opened up and was looked as though you could put your hand into it. It was so real. And there was a little red dot, a dotted line going around it, moving like ants, but just little dotted lines. And about 4 inches back, so this hole was about 3.5 inches by 6 or 7 inches in the centre of the screen. And you could look like that, as if you're looking through a window, which is right. This is like it don't happen, right? This is a miracle. And I could move, by using the left and right up and down keys, you could move it around. I don't think we had a mouse in those days. Pretty sure we didn't. But anyhow, you move it around and you could read it. And it was saying that at the time of the end, that the 888 number will be in everything. You'll see it everywhere. So I didn't get to read the whole thing. I just then, once I got the clue of what they're talking about, the 888, and then it vanished. Right. Later on, I was down in Sedona. This is down in the United States. And it's an area, beautiful area really. It's all rock and some green trees, but the rock is beautiful colour. And there was this shop there, and I walked in, and around the back of the shop, because there's all these strange people talking about how they're vibrating out in the bush, out in the rocks and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd give them a bit of a look. And I walk around the back to get away from this crap. And there's a book sticking out on the shelf, and I pulled it out. It was written by Bonnie Gaunt. So when I flicked through it, it was about how she discovered Isaiah 9:6 and Isaiah 11:1, that when she counted every 7th letter of the Hebrew letters, the total 888. So that was sort of a fulfilling of the prophecy I saw in the computer itself. And at that time, when these things happen, it sort of takes you off guard. I didn't have a camera, and didn't know how to screen capture all that kind of stuff. So, but you're in a sort of a dumb state because it happens, and you're looking at it, what the hell is this? And you're wondering, you're not thinking about doing anything else but reading it. And I didn't have that much time to read it out before it disappeared. So I thought, whoa, that's something else, right? Now, about that time, a fellow rang me from Hawaii, and he said that we had met him over there in 1975, I think. 75, 76. So this is late and he rang me. This is years later. His name's Louis Law. And he was a real estate salesman that had gone into, he was a chemist, and he went into real estate salesman. His wife was still a chemist, working in a local drugstore. And he had a young girl there, the same age as my eldest daughter. And they lived in the top of a volcano, and this magnificent house that was built. And he was going to sell up and moved over to Oregon for his child's education. Stuff the education, stay in paradise, right? What's the point? But anyhow, he rang me and he said he's often thought about getting in touch with me because I was such an expert on the Bible. So his father had remarked to him. And his mother had died. And he said, I've been trying to get in touch with him. Didn't know how to get in touch with him. I thought you lived in Victoria and I lived in Port Alberni, which was on Vancouver Island. So he didn't have that right. And he said he was out in the garage and his mother appeared to him and gave him my phone number. And he phoned me. It was kind of cute. And we had a long chat and talk and so forth. And very, very lovely man.
Yeah.
Now, the same guy lived in Austin, Texas. And when he was doing his studies, two things happened. He was studying in his apartment and he saw this woman walk down the hall and she had all blood over this sweater that she was wearing and then disappeared. Apparently there was a murder in there and this woman was murdered there, shot. Now, he's bouncing around with his wife in a party and he was over by the window on the 21st floor. He was bouncing up and down and he fell backwards and went through the window, which is rather odd because it's all plate glass window, you would think at least. And he said he fell out and as he was plunging he said, this is it, I'm finished, right? And he felt a hand under him and lifted him up and placed him in the room, and all the people that was in the room seeing him go out through the window. They're all sort of crying and screaming and carrying on, and he's standing in the other side of the room behind them. And he says, right, what's up? Well, they freaked out when they seen him, right, because they seen him fall through the window. So this is the kind of strange things that can happen. And Louis Law, absolutely 100% guy. No, he's just that type of guy, don't relate. Intelligent, educated, and he was only told me because of who he knew me to be.
I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. We are having rain here.
Well, I got a rag for the computer, right?
No, it's raining outside. It's so. We went through a very long dry spell. Everything is lovely and green now. It's coming back to life. Rob Thompson, you say, hello Yarra Nation, thank you for your teachings and a great sense of humour. I took your advice and purchased an inversion table for my back, and I've started using it. Thank you. Now, Rob, listen to Rob. I probably didn't describe my back properly. Impingement on the nerves due to bulging discs, as well as degenerative disc disease, osteoarthritis, chronic pain, neuropathy, etc. Much love and respect from me and my wife here in Canada. And one more small thing. What is the simplest way to purify water? Thanks. Love, Rob and Maria. Rob, copper. If you have anything copper, just drop it in a vessel of water and let it stay there. The copper itself will leach into the water, and that's the easiest way to do it. If you leave it overnight,
vitamin C.
If you leave it overnight, you will see that everything in it has been killed. So silver does the same if you rip it, but copper, and this is why copper pipes were always good for transporting water, and since they've gone to PVC, of course, all kinds of health conditions. But copper. Joel actually bought us, because he knew I was looking for copper cooking vessels and all kinds of things. He bought us an ounce as a plate. He got it off eBay or somewhere, or coins, whatever, and it's as pure as you can get. Those things, copper used anywhere within hospitals, it's antibacterial, they kill everything. And
well, they weren't used in hospitals because they won't kill you.
That's right. They used to be used in hospitals around kitchens because it kills germs like silver.
Just wipe everything down with colloidal silver. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, and but copper is the easiest. We actually have a copper pipe that Yar beat, and then we turned it into a spiral, and we just let it sit in our 5-gallon glass vessel over there with a tap on it, and then I threw in my, thanks Dex, the ounce of silver. I did cut it up and pulled it out to a spiral, and that just sits in there now. We don't even bother to, rip it through electrolysis. That's if you want a quick rip, you can do it that way, but we haven't bothered because
But how's his back?
Dex, oh, well, yes, Rob, let us know. Rob, watch all of those videos that I uploaded. I hope you are, about the apple cider vinegar and everything else, because they're going to help you with your osteoporosis. You especially the doctor, the chiropractor, who explains why
Keep away
apple
from
cider
chiropractors, all right?
explains why apple cider vinegar is so effective and has everything
On
to
the
do.
inversion table, you don't have to go upside down, you just go to a slight angle.
Yes,
You can
and
feel
take
it,
the
right?
pressure off. Take the pressure off your disc, etc. But yes, all those things I uploaded today will be information for you to instill in your diet. Get rid of the cooking oils, your vegetable oils. They are deadly for you. Only cook with virgin coconut oil. Eat virgin olive oil and eat butter. They are the fats that your body needs, but only eat with the virgin coconut oil. And virgin is better than the expeller. The expeller has already been heated. What you want is the raw, unrefined virgin coconut oil to cook with and to use it everywhere in your body. All those things that are uploaded today will get you on the road to health. And of course the biggest thing too is that all of the drugs that you're being poisoned with, none of them are designed to cure you. That's why the word cure cannot be used in the world of allopathic medicine. It's banned because you can't claim that anything cures. That's the way the Jews have designed it through their pharmakia, their sorcery, witchcraft, and it's to do with idolatry. You see, the Jews worship money. That's their god. And it's the idolatry of all of these corporate pharmaceutical corporations, the money, that's what they worship. So that's explained in our next PowerPoint upload that will go up tonight. And I think I've got everybody so far, or at least, let me go. John, hi John. Yeah, nice one. And I have to explain to some that Yah's sense of humour, he does have a sense of humour. It can be quite wry or dry, whatever you want to call it. And so when he says, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, that's the line from Gone with the Wind, you know, Clark Gable and Scarlett O'Hara, and he just likes to mimic Clark Gable. And he's getting used to...
My brother said I look like Clark Gable. Did it?
Right.
He said I've been dead for 25 years.
And Yah is getting...
And Elvis Presley apparently is writing music backwards today.
He's decomposing.
Decomposing.
I've had to explain to a few people that Yah has been so used to the rejection over the years, it kind of gets you really tough. And so with all the thoughts of love coming in, mind you, I've booted anybody who... So it's only the love thoughts that are out there, love beings, as one of our beautiful people in Idaho keeps saying, love beings. He's getting used to the idea of being respected. Tolerated and respected. And we thank you for all of your wonderful and encouraging comments. And that's why we're here, to bring peace and love into your life and overturning the damage that's been done to not only the creation but yourselves. Yourselves first, and then everything else will follow as we go forward in time. So with that, I think that's it for now. Oh, can't I show them the
I've got to get up, my back's killing me.
I'm not going to show them the dolls, the grandpa and nana dolls. No?
Hasta la vista.